It's a cartoon for tweens about biblical themes. They produce little plays, they get carried away. A flamingo, a sock, yeah, most things can talk. Connect. There's Tina and Joey and Becky and Todd. There's Lena and Jerry, they're already odd, but they still find a way to learn more about God. Connect.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show of all shows. Prepare to feast your eyes on the most amazing, enthralling, spellbinding, mind-blowing...
Heads up! Oh, Oklahoma, that hurts.
Prepare your ears to hear the greatest story that ever was and is. God's big story. Welcome to...
Oh, boy! Becky, are we insured?
One moment, ladies and gentlemen. A moment, please. What are you doing?
Well, I'm sorry, but things are falling apart.
Are you trying to
back
ruin
here.
the show?
First, the set fell over.
You're off to a
And
great
let's
start.
put the piano in the rafters.
Just get out
I
there.
was trying to load the chicken cannon. Chicken?
Right. And now, welcome to creation!
In the beginning, God said, "Let there be some light." Ta-da!
Is that it?
I guess so.
No,
No?
there's more. You're telling God's story.
God's whole story.
Yes,
Seriously?
How long is this video?
there's a lot in God's story. People might know parts of it, like Noah, Moses, King David, Jesus' birth, the crucifixion, and Pentecost. But how do they fit together?
I have no idea.
Well, that's what you need to find out.
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
How about the beginning?
Oh, you mean...
The story of creation!
Yes,
Wait, who is this? Is this the narrator?
We have a narrator?
no,
No?
no.
Hello? Hello?
But how will we know what to do?
Aha! Ah-ha-ha-ha. Look at this. After God said, "Let there be light," God made a whole ton of things.
You're right. There was water.
And God saw that it was good.
God made the planets and moons, asteroids, and the whole cosmic cosmos.
Copy that, Houston. It is good. Whoa!
Then God made the grass
It
and
is
flowers
good.
and trees
good.
and
It is
rocks
good.
and
You're good.
cows.
It is. It is.
More than one octopus.
Good, good, good.
Flamingos,
You're good.
chickens,
You're good. Good, good.
orangutans,
You're good.
worms, and badgers.
You're good. You're good.
God made it all.
Including people. Oh.
Then God looked at everything, all that had been created, and said, "It is good."
The end.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very
Thank
much.
you.
You're a
Thank you.
beautiful
Thank you.
crowd, Really.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Excuse me. That's not the end.
Did it just talk?
Yep.
Yes, God made it all, but God is still making it all.
What did you just say? God is still making it all?
Yes.
But it's all already here.
God is constantly creating. There's new stars forming, new planets, new lands rise up out of the sea. Every year there's new grass, new trees, and babies. Lots and lots of babies.
Aww. Baby.
Yeah, I'm adorable. Now, would you put me down, please?
And God isn't just making some things new. God is working to make all things new.
To make all things new. Got it. All things?
Yes, all things, all the time.
Wow. And is that good too?
Yes.
Brilliant. Uh-oh. Oh.
Are you the narrator?
No, I'm a flamingo.
Oh, okay.
Is this the end?
No, Todd. I think this is just the beginning. We have the whole rest of God's big story ahead of us.
Awesome! Can't wait.
I know! Isn't it exciting? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fall! Once upon a time, the Lord planted a garden featuring vegetation of all varieties. But the Lord God needed someone to maintain the garden. Luckily, the two newly created human beings were in need of gainful employment.
Hey, Eve, it sure is great being in this great garden where everything is great.
You said it, Adam. Everything's great about life in the garden.
In fact, everything is so great, I'm gonna do a little dance. Da-da-doo-ba-da-doo-ba-da-doo.
But there was one tree that was forbidden. I said there was one tree that was forbidden. Hey, Adam, there's those mysterious trees God told us about. Should we go look at them?
Couldn't hurt to look, Eve. I am the knowledge tree of good life evil.
Good grief. Remember, Adam, we can look, but we must not eat the fruit per God's instructions.
But then a snake entered. Did God really say you'd die if you ate the fruit?
Surely, the Lord said we'd surely die.
God's bluffing. You won't die. You'll just gain all the knowledge that God has. Don't you want to be like God?
Eve succumbed to temptation, and Adam with her.
Which was great.
How can it be great? We're talking about the fall of humanity when everything goes wrong?
Which was God's will, so it's great.
Ah! Ah!
I beg to differ.
Becky, the snake came to life.
What?
Snake? I'm most certainly not a snake. I'm a tube sock with googly eyes glued on. And not very well, I might add.
Ew.
Are you just going to stand there? You're going to address my errant googly eye.
Sorry about that.
Well, you ought to be. This is terrible, as are many things in the world.
Wrong. God made the world. God is good. Ipso facto, it's all gravy.
There is much that is not gravy.
Name one thing.
Disease, tornadoes, oil spills, war, and toe jab. Evil, evil toe jab.
That was 5 things.
Becky, help.
Actually, Mr. Tubesock, I think I might have the same questions as Todd.
I sincerely doubt that.
Well, if God made people and people brought sin into the world, doesn't that mean that,
Becky, I speak in a sophisticated British accent, and even I don't know the answer to that question. The story of the fall is the tale of people bringing sin into this world.
But all they did was eat a pineapple. That's like taking a cookie from the cookie jar. That's not a sin. Is it?
That one act led creation down a slippery, slippery slope. On page 1, mere disobedience in forbidden fruit consumption. On page 2, fig leaf fashion faux pas. On page 3, murder. And from there, sin grew rampant, spreading throughout the land as humans spread throughout the land. Humans had fallen, and along with them, all of creation. You are doomed, all of you.
Not me. I didn't eat any fruit. Adam and Eve did. Their problem, not mine.
The sins of humanity are humanity's problem, Todd.
God must not want anything to do with us?
I don't want anything to do with me.
We have much in common. Were I in charge, I would smite your entire wretched race in an instant.
Are all my socks bent on world domination?
To varying degrees. Humanity's relationship with the Lord has been damaged, but God remains resolute in repairing the schism between God and all of creation.
Why? Why would God work so hard at making this work?
Because of that pesky thing called love.
God loves us?
Apparently.
Aww. So, stop me if I'm taking the wrong thing away from this, but the fall of humanity was an isolated incident with few lasting repercussions or consequences.
Todd, have you been paying attention in the slightest?
No.
I see. Take a step to the left, will you? Falling is not pleasant, Todd, and it pales in comparison to how unpleasant your impact on the ground will be.
I said stop me if I'm taking the wrong thing away from this!
Only God can save you now, Todd.
Hey, what's this ripcord thingy? And these backpacks?
We don't have time to debate our unexplained costume change, Becky. We're gonna be as flat as pancakes.
Todd, pull the ripcord! Pull the ripcord!
Thank goodness.
No, Todd. Thank God. God remains committed to easing your fall despite all your despicable attributes.
Everything you say sounds so disgusted.
Do you have any idea what it's like to live inside Todd's shoes? You'd be disgusted with everything, too. It's like a rotten egg sweat lodge in there.
Oh no, here comes God, and I'm naked. I better hide. I said, here comes God.
Where are you?
I heard you in the garden, and I'm kind of freaked out because I'm naked, so I hid.
Who told you were naked? Did you eat from the forbidden tree?
Alas, yes, I and my lady friend dined on the sweet, forbidden flesh of knowledge, per the serpent's recommendation.
Because you have done this, cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil, you will eat food from it all of the days of your life.
Becky, you gotta get it together. I'm more comfortable being the weak link.
He's dead!
Who's dead?
Isaac Blaze is dead!
Your fire-bellied newt?
I went to check on him in his aquarium this morning, and he was just floating there, fire belly up.
Do you want to talk about it?
I want to have a memorial.
Right now?
Yes, right now. Isaac Blaze was a fire-bellied newt and a dear, dear friend. For 6 years, he resided in the aquarium located in my room on top of my dresser. We loved each other dearly. And now, Isaac's best friend, Rembrandt Amsterdam III, would like to say a few words in remembrance.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You look like a lovely crowd. Speaking of looking, what do you call a fish with no eyes?
Rembrandt Amsterdam III! How can you make jokes at a time like this?
Becky, my friend, how could I not?
Isaac was flushed only this morning!
Flushed? I was flushed. We've all been flushed in one way or another. And most of the time, you don't see it coming.
Man, your goldfish loves you.
I'm a lovable guy.
He'd probably stop loving you if you stopped feeding him.
Man, this fish loves me so much that I could flush him down the toilet and he'd come back to get flushed again.
You want to bet?
You're on.
I could dwell on my misfortune, or I could push forward, and push forward I did, until I received my first taste of freedom. In the municipal sewage system.
That's awful!
No, not awful. Horrific! But in the midst of that unending septic terror, I enlisted comrades. Other aquatic novelties fall into a similar fate. But wait, it gets worse. We could nearly see the light at the end of the loathsome storm sewer when my companions succumbed to the grim nature of reality.
I think it was the crocodile.
Severed from my only allies in the sea, I wallowed in my fish misery. Why had God abandoned me? I made the decision. I beached myself and I waited for the gentle caress of death. But then I was saved at the last moment. And that's where I subsequently met Isaac Blaze, the fire-bellied newt, the dearest friend of my treacherous journeys. My utter despair had led to my salvation.
So your suffering ended when I saved you.
No. Suffering doesn't end. It's ongoing. I'm suffering right now. I'm in a plastic bag and 16 ounces of tap water paying tribute to my dead best friend. I hate to call rock bottom prematurely, but I am a species of limited imagination.
How are we supposed to move forward when it just means more pain and more anguish and more dead starter pets?
In times of trouble, I look to the wisdom of Psalm 22. Do not be far from me, for trouble is near, and there is no one to help.
I feel better already.
I don't.
Ah, but there's another part to that psalm. It also appears in Matthew 27:46. My God, why have you forsaken me? You know who said that? Matthew. He was quoting someone. His name starts with a J.
Joseph.
No.
Jonah.
No.
Dr. Seuss.
Ah, Jesus. Jesus said it.
Jesus. I was gonna say Jesus.
But that doesn't make any sense. Jesus is the Son of God. How could he question whether the Lord was with him?
Suffering cuts both ways, Becky. God suffers when we fall short of our promises, our covenant with God.
God suffers?
Absolutely. God willingly suffers right along with us, and in this way, we are never alone in our suffering. And that is a very comforting thought.
It is. Thank you, Rembrandt. I appreciate your heartfelt, albeit self-centered, eulogy.
Don't mention it, Becky. Don't mention it at all.
I'll miss you, Isaac.
He must have been a pretty amazing newt.
He was. Thanks, Todd. For everything.
Don't mention it.
I don't think he's coming back.
Give him a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Flood! The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the human heart was only filled with evil all the time. So the Lord said, I will wipe from the face of the earth the human race, for I regret that I have made them. I just don't know where I went wrong.
You work so hard, God.
I do.
You're too nice. Way too nice. That's what it is. You know, there's this thing. It's called tough love.
I'm going to flood the earth, destroying all that walks upon its surface.
That's it. Tough love. Whoa, we didn't have real water in rehearsal.
Real water? What the? Did you do this?
No, I thought you did.
No!
Well, if you didn't do it, and I certainly didn't do it, then...
Becky, why is this happening?
Oh, yeah.
Why do you have a boat?
You know the Boy Scouts motto, always have a boat.
Well, mere boat won't save you now.
Who said that?
Yeah, who said that?
Up here, on the high ground.
Jerry the janitor.
What is happening?
End times are a-coming. I told Mr. Anderton, the theater manager, I said, Chuck, first of all, end times are a-coming. God's gonna flood the earth again. Second thing I told him, we're out of paper towels in the men's lavatory. But did he listen? No. People having to wipe their hands on their pants. That is no way to run a theater.
Yeah, he could have at least installed hand dryers.
Jerry, you think this is God flooding the world again?
Absolutely. I'm burning all my bridges. Mr. Anderton, it's Jerry. I'm not cleaning your theater anymore, Chuck. You can take your $7.75 an hour and use it for something else, 'cause I quit. Man, that felt good.
Is the world so wicked that God had to resort to wiping out humanity again?
The time of reckoning is upon you! Your species is doomed! Doomed!
I cannot believe that God would just do this to us again. I just don't think we deserve it.
Oh, you don't think we deserve it? Oh, that's reason enough to discount God's wrath.
You disagree with me, Mr. Flamingo?
I agree with your general conclusion. However, I disagree with the methodology used to reach the conclusion.
Me too. I disagree with the Mephistopheles used to reach the conundrum.
Todd, don't.
Don't?
Just don't.
Mr. Anderton, it's Jerry. I drank all your root beer and I don't care.
It should be enormously clear to even the most amateur biblical scholar that this is not God's handiwork. You see, there's this little book known as Genesis, chapter 9.
Oh, there you go, bringing the Bible into it.
After the flood, God established a covenant with all of creation, vowing to never destroy it quite so thoroughly ever again. A lovely example. Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, it serves as a useful reminder of the covenant that was established.
Oh, that's hogwash. God's changed the divine mind plenty of times. Well, just look at the story of Jonah.
God has reversed positions in the past, this much is true, but only toward the side of compassion and forgiveness.
I don't buy it, talking bird. I don't buy it at all.
I'm a bird who happens to talk. I am not a talking bird. Good day.
Well, then where did all this water come from?
Don't look at me.
I wasn't looking at you.
2/3 of the earth is water, Becky.
I know that. I mean this water.
Well, I don't want to point any fingers, but 75% of you is water.
What are you talking about?
It just seems like a big coincidence is all.
Well, Mr. Anderton, Jerry again.
Todd, you're acting weirder than usual.
Take that back.
Todd? Did you flood the theater?
Technically, the water is flooding the theater.
Todd!
I admit it, I flooded the theater, for I looked upon this audience and saw a great wickedness, and it was time to wipe the theater clean.
And
I was doing pull-ups on the water pipe.
why were you doing pull-ups?
I wanted to look ripped when I played the angel.
You have fake muscles. Wait, Todd! If it's a burst pipe, we just need to turn off the water and repair the pipe.
Oh yeah, Becky, there's just some magical wheel we can spin that will just magically...
Done!
Touché.
We were foolish to think this was God's wrath.
I know, right?
We just have to remember that God's commitment to us is greater than any commitment we can make.
Seriously, we could be total flakes.
Hey, Jerry, you can come down. It isn't end times. It was just a burst pipe.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
That's no good. Mr. Anderton, Jerry here. Disregard those prior messages. Keep up the good work.
Come hither. Let us, the people of Shinar, make bricks and bake them thoroughly.
Yes, and with said bricks, let us build a tower that reaches to the heavens to demonstrate our general awesomeness, and so we can become famous.
Yes, I agree. Otherwise, we will be scattered over the face of the whole earth.
It sure is great to speak the same language as you.
Yes, with a common tongue, nothing can stop us.
Hark! The great tower is being built!
Hold. Okay, first of all, you are Shinarians. You are spitting in the face of the Lord by building this tower. You are defiant. I need to see your defiance.
Sorry, Miss Frederick.
This is the first time I've been given the honor of directing, and I don't want this show looking like some junior high production.
But we are in junior high.
Todd, the tower isn't reading. I think it needs to be taller.
The structure's already built. It's not really feasible to build on top of it.
I really, really need it to be taller, Todd.
I'd have to start completely over.
Perfect. Thank you.
Oh.
Lena?
Oh no.
Lena? How are my costumes?
Mrs. Fredwick, the needle was hard to thread.
Ms. Frederick. Lena, tech is in 3 days. When can I expect my costumes?
3 days?
Actors need to rehearse in their costumes, Lena. That's Theater 101. You should have come to me about this sooner.
Sorry, Miss Fredwick.
No time to apologize. Just get it done. Todd! I said I wanted the structure taller. Taller!
This is significantly taller.
Don't spit in my coffee and call it sugar, Todd. It needs to be 3 times taller before the end of the day.
But I have baseball practice.
You will deliver what the director asks of you.
Taller. Let's make it taller. Don't hurt me.
Todd!
what?
Progress report!
Morning, Becky. Hey, we're right up to the ceiling now. It's looking great.
Remove the roof.
Becky, I don't know that I'm qualified to...
Less talk. More work. Lena, these delays are unacceptable.
Sorry, Mrs. Fredwick.
Enough with the lip service, Lena. Tomorrow is dress. You have got to step it up. There's a lot of first graders out there who would gladly take your job. Don't forget that.
I'll try my best.
You're not filling me with confidence. You all right, Todd?
I think so.
Then it's not tall enough. Jerry, where's Lena?
She had to go home. Her mother pulled her from the production because it was interfering with her schoolwork.
She made a promise to this production. This is unacceptable.
Oh, you kids sure take your little plays seriously.
There are no little plays, Jerry. Taller, Todd! It needs to be taller!
Okay. All right, the tower is as high as it could possibly go. Can I please go play baseball now?
One last thing. The coup de grace. The light will shine throughout the land, and people will come from miles around to see my magnificent production.
All right.
It's a packed house. Do not spoil my directorial debut. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tower of Babel. When I decided to tackle this subject, many praised. So, without further ado, I give you the Tower of Babel.
Hey, Becky.
Hi, Todd. I kinda went mad with power, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for all the havoc I caused.
You a bad costume designer. A bad costume designer.
I was so focused on making a name for myself that I lost sight of what's important.
I like doing the plays with you, Becky, but they're a lot more fun when we just get up there and, have fun. We don't need big sets or special effects to tell God's story.
You're right, Todd. I should be glorifying God, not myself. Glorifying God by spreading God's big story all over the earth.
Yes, what you said. That is, I agree.
Thanks for reminding me, Todd.
You want to come play baseball?
I'd like that.
Come on.
I need a raise.